Hello everyone, welcome to my Sunday school class. My name is Miss Angie. Today we're going to be talking about lesson 65, Israel crosses the Jordan. God provided safe passage across the Jordan River for Joshua and the Israelites. Joshua was one of the spies Moses sent into the promised land 40 years earlier. He encouraged the people to listen to God's command to take the land. Then after Moses died, Joshua was the one who sent the spies into the land. Today, we'll finally see him lead the Israelites into the land promised Abraham. God promised Abraham. Pay attention so you will know what God wanted them to remember, the people to remember. Today's lesson will be found in Joshua chapter 3, verses 7 to 14. Also, chapter 4, verses 19 to 24. Here before you, you have an image, a picture of what it will be like, the Ark of the Covenant, according to the descriptions in the Bible, in the book of Exodus. The sanctuary, here's where the location of the Ark was put once they had the tabernacle. The Ark of the Covenant. This piece of furniture was made of two pieces, the Ark, which is the box, and the mercy seat, which is the cover. The mercy seat is where the presence of God dwelt. Within the Ark were three items, the 10 Commandments, pot of manna, and Aaron's rod. Manna was a symbol of the provision of God. The rod, the authority of God, and the tablets, the demands of God. And the Lord said unto Joshua, This day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. Here we see Joshua leading the priests. And Joshua, thou shalt command the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When ye are come to the brink of the water of the Jordan, ye shall stand still in the Jordan. They must have a lot of faith to do this. The ark of the covenant represents God's presence among the people. By having the priest go first with the ark, God was showing the people to follow and trust him. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, Come hither, and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, Hereby ye should know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you all the lands that were occupied, which was at least 7 lands that were conquered. God promised them and reassured them that go ahead, fight them. You will conquer them. You see right here it says that God will not fail them. They will be cut off. Joshua chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passes over before you into the Jordan. Reminder, Red Sea. Continue on. Now therefore, take your 12 men out of the tribe of Israel, out of every tribe a man. These men were to cross the river, but as they were crossing the river within the river ground, they needed to take out a stone. Joshua 3:13. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, and the Jordan shall be cut off from they shall stand upon a heap. So as soon as, here we see, as soon as the feet of the priest touched the ground, the waters automatically stopped. But according to the scriptures, we're going to continue to read forward. These waters were stopped back in the city of Adam, where Zaretan was. We will continue on, and I will show you. And it came to pass, when the people removed from their tents to pass over Jordan, and the priest bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, as they that bear the ark were come unto Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bear the ark were dipped in the brim of the waters. One thing that I want to show here, this was the season, this was the harvest season where the water current was more gorged and the current was stronger. And still, this was nothing impossible or difficult for the Lord to accomplish and to get done. He still stopped the water and piled them on one side. As we see here, Joshua 3:16, that the waters which come down from above stood and rose up on a heap very far from the city of Adam, as I was showing with you earlier, that is beside Zaretan. And those that came down toward the sea of the plain, where the salt sea failed and were cut off, and the people passed over right against Jericho. So it was like a river, and it was like this river was connected also to the sea and other rivers connected to it. But God made it stop, and He made it stop miles away. Here we have the men from each tribe carrying the stones as they still crossing the river. Now, this was a very symbolic memorial, because throughout this, as we continue on, Joshua also took the time to gather 12 stones. We got to find out, different from the ones that the men from the tribes were carrying. Joshua 3:17. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on the dry ground in the midst of the Jordan, as you saw earlier. And the Israelites passed over the dry ground, and to all the people were passed clear over the Jordan. Little note. Joshua took the time to set up 12 stones to mark the spot where the ark have been held with the priests, different from the stones of the men from each tribe were carrying. We will find out soon enough. Joshua sets up memorial stones. Here in Joshua 4, verses 19 and 20. And the people came out of the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. And the 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. We continue on Joshua 4:21 and 22. And he spoke unto the children of Israel, saying, when your children should ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what does this mean? The parents, the elders, are to educate the generation to the generations to the generation the meaning of the pile of stones. They should let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on the dry land. Here we see the biblical memorial. The 12 stones are gathered here. So when the children should ask, what are these stones for? The parents and the generation and the elders will remind the kids and tell the kids that this was when we crossed the Jordan River, and how that guy dried the river for us to cross. But at the same time, Joshua took 12 stones and piled them up where the Ark of the Covenant was resting, also as another biblical memorial to remind the generation of the Red Sea, what God has done also in the past. We continue on Joshua 4, verses 23 and 24. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan from before you, until ye were passed over. As I was telling you earlier, I just narrated it for you. As the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us, until we were gone over. So that was another memorial. That all the people of the earth might know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that ye may fear the Lord your God forever. Here we see another image, a picture. The Israelites were now ready to face their first challenge, the land of Jericho. You could see the tent circling the walls of Jericho. That's awesome. Here I want to share with you another very, very vital and important biblical memorial in Luke chapter 22, verses 19 and 20. I will only read the words that are underlined to emphasize it, but it's right there written fully. And he took the bread. This was Jesus Christ on his last supper with his disciples. He took the bread, gave thanks, and brake it, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you." And Miss Angie, this do in remembrance of me. In remembrance of what? Of the sacrifice that he gave his life for us, that whosoever should believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Also, likewise, also the cup, saying, "This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you," and for Miss Angie. This is a biblical memorial that to this present day we still practice it in remembrance of what the Son of the living God, our Savior, did for us until the day that he comes. What are some ways you can keep track of God, of the good things God does for you? Usually, what I usually do, I put stickies, I put them here in my Bible, in between it, and I also have a journal of prayers and prayers answered. And at times when I have when I go to church and I have time to share the testimonies, I share the answered prayers the Lord has done for me, has answered for me. Once again, thanks for watching. This is all for today. Until next time, Lesson 66, Israel conquers Jericho. Have a blessed day.